Okay, and so we are recording. So thank you, Trisha. Thank you. I just wanted to say how wonderful it is to be here today. Today, I just wanted to double check. Let's see, 5, 6. So today's the 15th of March. And so, where's my other book? So today's the 15th of March, and I thought it was very synchronistic to begin with that, as I mentioned earlier, that today equals 11. And so it's very interesting that many of my, well, I was going to say many of my clients resonate with the number 11, but there's more to it than that. Just so you're aware, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So first of all, I wanted to thank you for being here today with me. And I also wanted to thank you for sharing that video. It was very synchronistic this morning. And just for the sake of the camera, that you reshared a video that I had done of a card reading that I did for you, because we didn't get a chance to pull your name in an event that we did. So you had reshared that video this morning. I had actually completely forgotten that I had done it. But what was interesting was this morning when I got up, they told me to make sure I had all my cards lined up here.
I love it.
So I thought that was funny because I was like, oh, okay. I was like, they literally told me this morning in my meditation, there is information that will be revealed to you today through the cards. And so it was really interesting that they told me that. And then they told me to make sure the cards were there. And that then when I saw just a little while ago that you had reshared that video, I was like, oh, that was my confirmation from the universe to say, yes, okay, definitely there's information there. So I have come to understand, especially recently in the last few weeks, a lot of information about myself, my connections, my students, my connections to the angelic realms, more so than I ever had realized or explored before. So for whatever reason, I was guided to share that with you as well, that the timing of this is not an accident. I really didn't know that you were already speaking light languages.
Really?
No.
I've been for a long time. It's just I'm not like confident in it, or like I don't understand what I'm saying or where it's coming from.
And that's pretty normal. So that's where I wanted to start with all this, and I think that's why they're guiding, the conversation in this direction. So when did you start speaking languages, and what was your first experience? How did you, what came first?
Well, I think as a child, I always did the clicking. I've always done the clicking since a little girl. Like it was just something.
Interesting. Okay.
Done. But like more fluently, I'd say about a year ago.
Okay. When did you start seeing people or finding people? Did you find people on YouTube, or how did you see other people that were speaking languages?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't trust all of them. Like I only go with certain ones. Like I feel guided to you and like to others, but I don't follow people completely.
Okay. And that's
from,
okay. And I'm just making little notes as I okay, that's interesting too. So when I was a kid, I had like little, I don't know, like languages. I always wanted to speak a lot of foreign languages. I remember when I was a kid, I really, really wanted to speak a lot of languages. And I remember, I've always, believed in angels, and I've always believed in life on on stars. I always believed that I was connected to the stars. The very first time I saw or came across you, I don't even, how you go like, when did that happen? And you just can't remember. So I remember when I first saw you on Facebook and I saw your picture, I thought, wow, she's so galactic.
Yeah.
I could tell immediately that there was this energy about you that was, I could just feel the multidimensional kind of connections, if you will, if that makes sense. And so I also, when I first started speaking languages, now I only started speaking them, although I spoke a secret language with my best friend, and then I taught my sister later, but it was more like an English secret language. It was more like mixing up the, you to go into the game and it gives.
Oh my gosh, I used to say that.
No, you did not. I was just, oh my God, I got goosebumps. I'm like, but a guy into the game and it gives what it gives.
Yes, me and my sister used to talk like that all the time.
No, you didn't.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm not joking. I used to speak, that was like my language.
That was my sister and I to this day.
Yes.
We are in our 50s and we still speak this language and nobody in our family can understand what we're saying.
Oh my gosh.
And my sister is totally a fairy. My sister is my 3D sister is such a fairy. It was like, and I was getting such elemental energy from you this morning. Oh my God. So I was like, all right, this is all making so much sense. And my sister just had her birthday. When's your birthday? Your whole date?
August 27th, 1979.
Okay.
Virgo.
All right. My horoscope said I was going to meet a Virgo.
What?
This is so weird. Today. All right. So my oldest son, my first son was born in 1979.
Oh, wow.
Seven. If I added it up right, your birth path is a 7. Okay. So totally. Oh my God. All right. So what I was receiving this morning, see this, it's really hard to record it all because it floods in. So what I was getting this morning was spiritual leader, high priestess energy. So I was, so they were showing me this high priestess energy. I already know that the reason why I don't do like a lot of sessions, that's not what I'm about, is because we are the teachers of the teachers, just as I've discussed in my videos. And even when I first started speaking languages, I too, even to this day, actually, there's very, very, very few I will actually listen to. Yeah. And nowadays, I really don't listen to any. I mean, not out there. Wendy, I would say Wendy Kennedy and Vanessa Lamorte, and she quit doing videos on YouTube with her languages, but I would say right now, Wendy Kennedy, and then just like my friend Will Mitchell, probably the only people I listen to anymore that speak languages. I don't know why.
Right?
Pardon me?
The Reiki guy?
Yeah, Reiki with Will. So matter of fact, if you're free tonight, he's doing a session. I mean, he's doing a hangout, but you need to be on Google to hang out. Right. Do you have a Gmail address?
Yeah.
Well, if you're on Gmail, if you're on Google, you can get in the Hangout. I can send you the link. You just jump in. And you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be.
Okay.
You can turn your camera off. And half of his Hangouts, though, on Thursday are he kind of does like a little guided meditation, and then everybody kind of goes into a silent meditation, and then you talk about, what you saw and stuff. So it's not for everybody, because not everybody wants to be in a Hangout and just do a silent thing. But anyway, if you're ever interested, you can watch one of them on YouTube, and then you can decide if it's something you'd want to do. But anyway, we speak languages together. And Will and I have been, light language buddies for a long time, for several years now. And I got to meet him at a retreat a couple of years ago. So, but anyway, back to you. So very interesting that I was getting this information today about Virgo myself. And then you have a lot of and it's interesting that my first son was born in 1979 as well. I live right off highway number 79, which I think is kind of funny. And then with that's so funny too, about my sister and the fairy and everything too. Now, and my wedding anniversary is in August, the end of August, August 30th. So you being a number 7. Now my birth path number is an 11. And so very interesting that today equals 11. You have the 7 spiritual leader energy about you. And that was interesting because I didn't know that. And then this morning they kept telling me about being a patriarch. And they said patriarch, which I found was very interesting. They did not. So I was like, did I hear? They're like, yeah, you heard me right. I'm like, okay, just checking. Because I'm like, okay, because it's interesting how, I had a friend named Trisha, that played a very important part of my life. And it was interesting this morning because I've thought of, now she didn't spell it the same way, but I thought of her momentarily, and it was there was this idea of the name and how we choose the vibration of the name, of our birth dates, of when we're going to be born. We know all of that, right? So we choose all of that because we want to explore a certain path in a certain way. And we know that those attributes are what we are this time around, how we want to explore it. And so I find it very interesting that there's that 79 energy. And it's interesting because you've got 3 9s also in your birthday, in your birth numbers. You've got 9 for the 27. You've got, 19. You've got the 9, in there, and then also the 9th for the 79. So I'm seeing that, and it's interesting because then which goes back to the 27, because 27 equals 9. And so that's a lot of really high dimensional energy. So I'm hearing this morning, and so now I'm even hearing it now even louder. They were telling me that there was this blue Pleiadian patriarch energy with you, and one of the reasons why you even chose your name is because one of the energies of that name is your name actually Patricia? No. Okay. Which I didn't, it's funny because they told me it wasn't. That's really funny. They said that, and they said that it's one of the reasons why you chose to spell it with an SH instead of because it's not. And see, that's really weird. So they said, but that because you wanted to explore because you wanted to explore a more feminine aspect this time, but you do have there's this essence of you that was a very high patriarch Pleiadian kind of leader, ruler kind of energy about you. And but yet they were showing me very interesting information. I wrote down circles of harmony. They were showing me this Pleiadian dance, like a circular dance, like almost like shamanic drum circles. There was a healing. They were showing me like a healing energy about you, that you were performing healing. I'm getting all the hairs now are standing up. I'm getting all the, they were showing me the healing circles that you were a part of, and that you were literally like the the priestess, the priest, and this is many layers. This is not just one, this is many, but they were showing me priestesses and high priestess energy, high priest energy, many, many layers, many, many realms. And now I'm even hearing ninth Pleiadian, ninth dimensional Pleiadian, so I'm hearing that right now. You've got 999 all over the place. So now I'm hearing this, and I'm just going to write this down. So now I'm feeling this night, I'm getting this ninth Pleiadian energy about you. But I keep hearing healing circles, circles of harmony, drum circles, creating harmony. And I'm very all about harmony. And, and so one of the reasons why our languages, like even right now, it's like I'm hearing them in my head. They're all gathering around me here. I feel the angelic energies right now with you. I mean, it's like really, it starts to build up. It gets stronger. It gets stronger. So I'm feeling this angelic energy, and so the reason I know this, and the reason why you prefer my languages, and why we've been so gravitating toward each other, is because of our high vibrational energy. And I have come to understand that my students are the teachers, and I'm talking the teachers. And so this is the frequency that we're rendezvousing at, and why we really don't listen to I've actually gotten to the point now I really don't even listen. There's very few even other channelers I listen to.
I stopped listening to YouTube, everything.
I just, there's only a couple now that I listen to, and they guide me when to listen to them and to whom, but they're pretty high energy people now. Like I'll only listen to like maybe Cryon, there's only a few. Well, Jim Charles from Human Colony, he's one of the other ones. He's one of the only other channelers I listen to. And but there's a lot of other reasons for that. I'm very involved still with Human Colony to a degree. For now, I'm turning this because actually I've got a lot of stuff going on over here. So I just wanted to see. Okay. Yeah, so I've got a lot of pyramid stuff going on. I've got my angel candle. I've got a lot of crystals. I've got my singing bowl here. It's interesting because I was guided to, I've got my maraca back there too. So very interesting ever since I started meditating on you. And this is really weird because it was like on the way to the grocery store yesterday. I mean, it doesn't turn off just because I'm doing normal everyday things. Right. Believe me, it just
That's
doesn't.
When I get more, like I'll be washing the dishes.
Exactly. Doing laundry, doing in the shower, So I got my rose spray here.
Oh, love it.
So I'm just like, oh my God, every time I smell it, it's like I walked right into the angel dome, It's like
I have rose water soap. That's funny.
Oh my God, see? So I was like guided. It's as if I was smelling roses as we were having a conversation. It's like I was smelling roses, and then I went and grabbed my roses. And
yes, I love roses.
Very, very interesting that see how this happens. And so, what's really weird? So this morning, I don't know if you can see what I got on. I got my blue pants on. And so I was asking this morning, as I always do before I'm with a client, what colors do we need to work on today? What chakras do we need to talk about? What energies am I feeling? And it's blue, 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 blue. So then I grabbed this big old pink. Look at you. And I've got my lapis on, and I put my, you got to check this bracelet out. It's like, I don't even know what it is, like a star sapphire or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
And so I put this on too, because see, they were showing me all this blue energy around you this morning. And
that's what I felt today too.
I was like, oh my God, what's with the blue, So then I was like, then I started feeling like this beautiful pink and roses. I'm like, okay, what's going on here, So, oh my God, I was like, good Lord. I was like, how many times are you gonna make me change my clothes, So and I just go with it, so it's like I'm surrounded by all these, the pink and the blue. So I'm feeling this like rebirth energy about you, the spiritual. Oh my God. Oh.
That's my tattoo right there.
How would I know you? And there is no way, for the record here, guys, I had no idea she had a rebirth tattoos. Swear. I did. Brownie swear.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh my God. And I've been thinking about the brownies a lot, the actual little brownies, because, and then my sister sent me a picture of a brownie uniform because when I was a little girl, I was a brownie. And no, you weren't.
I swear, I promise you. Oh my goodness.
She sent me a picture of the whole thing, the brown uniform, the sash, the everything. And I'm like, oh my God, my brownie uniform. She's like, yeah, you remember when you used to wear your brownie uniform? And I was like, and then I was so mad because my mom, I was supposed to fly up into Girl Scouts and I did the whole ceremony and everything. She's like, well, we really don't have the time or the money. And I'm just like,
yeah.
So I never got to go through Girl Scouts. And so I was so disappointed. But for some reason, ever since we were talking about having your session, I kept hearing the brownies, and I'm like, well, hi. And all these little elementals. And I was just like, okay.
I'm like surrounded by elementals.
I know.
I love them. They're my
And then yesterday, I did a video yesterday. And what did I pull? But the elemental card and the other card. What was the other card? And the other card was number 6 or number 4. I think the elemental card was number 6. And then that equals 10, which was the energy of 1. So I'm in this 1 energy, then this 11 energy today. So the whole time I was so this whole last day that I've been thinking about you and today, then this morning they were showing me the high priestess energy, and then they're showing me, then I get Lyran. I'm like Lyran, like, oh my God, it was so heavy, like, woo. So, and this was right before I was meditating, and then I was starting to get all this information this morning, and I'm like, okay, I need to go take a shower. And they're like, well, just wait just a few more minutes, just a few more minutes. I'm like, okay. So I'm getting this information, I'm getting these visualizations, and they're showing me Lyran energy. And then they were showing me this high leader Lyran, a teacher, again, this Lyran teacher. And they said to me, so then they were showing me the picture of an hourglass and how it was the most incredible, like they showed me the most incredible visualization of the hourglass, and literally how guided me through a whole thing, how I'm supposed to do a whole video on this idea of this hourglass thing that I got this morning. So when I do the video, it's like I'll remember that it was like this day that I was given the information, that it was, and so really weird. So I've been thinking about hourglasses lately. So then they were showing me this hourglass and the sand spilling through it, and how the Lyran energy, and how we're seeing through time, literally seeing through the timelines, and even the felines here on Earth have that ability to see through they can actually literally see multiple timelines at one time, which is why we kind of call them 9 lives, if you will, because
9.
Oh my God. See, you caught that, and okay, I'm writing that down too. 9 lives.
That's so funny.
Feline.
These are the days of our lives. My mom watched that my whole childhood.
Oh my God. The hourglass.
Yes.
These are the days of our lives. And then that makes sense. I remember that all growing up. These are the days of our lives. Oh my God. So there I am seeing this Lyran energy around you so clearly. And this beautiful Lyran, like just so, and I almost get the feeling as if, I don't know, it's like 1 minute it's female, 1 minute it's male. And I have to wonder, is it both? Is it because we were embracing, when we're in these other realms, we literally can embrace both sides of ourselves, and that we can actually experience them both in the same existence, and feeling that we want to even do this now, that we want this to embody this like perfect masculine and feminine balance within us, so that we can move forward in life being strong, but carrying this divine wisdom and essence about us, but being able to say, you know what, I am, I am male, female, I am both, and I embody both, and I am the strength of both, and I am going to embody both from here forward, and not be afraid to allow that lioness energy, that lion energy, that feline energy, that agile, but yet wise, being able to see into those, that ninth dimensional energy, that tap into that. And I'm feeling that perhaps maybe that's one of our timelines together, is this idea of sharing this idea of ninth Pleiadian energy. And I already tap into that ninth Pleiadian energy, which is actually, now I'm being reminded, which is one of the reasons why I probably mentioned Wendy Kennedy, is because that's where she kind of hangs out, is with the ninth Pleiadian, so that would actually make a lot of sense. So it was interesting because they were showing me this visualization of this hourglass, and they said, okay, so tell her, I guess. So you see this visualization of the grain of sand, and yet they wanted me to visualize it more of an actual crystal, because that's, of course, what a grain of sand is. Right. And so you see this and how each one under a magnifying glass is completely and utterly unique, yet also has as many facets, say, as a diamond, for example. So you've got all these facets within just this one crystal. And within that one crystal, you've got all these facets. Now, you can look at each one of these facets as a day or a moment. In each one of the facets of each one of these crystals, you can look as a moment in the time in which you're in right now, is like what, like say each of them is like your mom, your sister, your children, one grain of sand is your life right now. Okay. And all those fractals are, because each one of those is really just a mirror of you anyway. Right. And we kind of already know that. So, and I'm just going with this because I'm going to just know that you already know this, and I don't need to, explain. So, so now you can also take that same idea and understand that same, or each one of those grains of sands now is still a part of all that you are. But now each one of those grains of sands, okay, so now you've got this one now, so let's just call it you right now, and all your kids and all the offshoots and all of the ripples that you and your kids and their kids and all your family and all blah, blah, blah. So you've got all of the ripples of that one. And each one of those are fractals. And each one of those now, understand, even your children have an infinite number of lifetimes, an infinite number of guides, an infinite number of fractals of their own that you have been also instrumental in creating, because you've co-created that with them. Now you see the next grain of sand that's coming through, down through this hourglass. And now, as you can see, each one of those grains of sand is one of the fractals of you. And each one of those fractals of you in of itself also has an infinite number of fractals. You begin to very quickly understand the vastness of that which you are. So you can take it down into the, you know, the micro, or you can take it out and really expand it out. And so it gives us this visualization of, and it's funny that you said the days of our lives, because it's so great that you have that visualization, because I do too. And so we can relate to that. And isn't it interesting that even that's something you and I co-created together in this co-creation, is the idea that we even we're even aware of that television show together. Right. You know what I mean? And then now I'm being guided. Do you remember Dark Shadows?
Dark Shadows?
Oh, it was a vampire show, and it was on. We're talking way back, and this is way before your time. And so it was just funny, because there had been remakes over the years, but it was just funny. There was this idea, I don't know why, all of a sudden I was sent to that time when I was a kid watching Dark Shadows, because it was the beginning of like the soap operas, and so the soaps were starting then, and you know, and then all the other ones that followed, you know. And so very interesting. So it's I think that one of the reasons why they use that analogy today with me, with respect to you too, is because, and see, there goes I do this third eye thing, where all of a sudden when my it gets activated, all of a sudden it's like my eye starts to twitch, and and it's like, like they're, you know, and then the tones start in my ears. So interesting that they're showing me that, because they were literally showing me how we really are aware of our multidimensionality, and how it's almost like too, they kept showing me how we keep turning over the hourglass over and over again. You know what I mean? It's like it almost like this never ending, that like almost that this never ends, and which is even makes it even more profound, in that when you think about that idea of that every one of those grains of sands, and that every one of those is you, and then fractals of you, and so on and so on and so on, and then how each of them rub and touch each other and cross each other at different times, and then every time you flip it over, you know, it's a very interesting how this analogy that they gave me today, and I'm not even sure why. It's just, this is all that came to me today. And so I was feeling this beautiful combination of not only galactic energy, but elemental energy, but this high angelic energy, these higher realms, this idea of 11. And then now we're talking about the 9s, which makes perfect sense to me. And then this idea of rebirth, and the pink and the blue, and the other thing is that they're telling me even now is that, you know, you exploring this idea even of such high 9 energy, in that they've been showing me the idea of birth this morning, with this pink and blue and rebirth, but you not only have come to explore these higher realms, but your energy, you've got the spiritual 7, you know, the 7 of wanting to explore the higher dimensional experience. This is, I want to open up my 7. I want to explore what it's like to be a 7 spiritual guide here. I'm exploring the high 9th energies, and yet I've also now my birth path being an 11. So here we have this very interesting, the 7-11, which everyone of course always equates also to good luck.
Yes.
And you know, this, so very interesting about that too. And so they're showing me how you also came to explore the idea of profound endings, because 9 also represents you're done with something, and I don't know what it is.
I know, I've been telling you.
But you're done.
I know.
With something. And they're like, and I've been getting it so, Elvis, they're like, there's this idea of you came here this time to explore something to the 9s, because you are oh so done with something. There's something that you are ready to be done with and release in order to be the 7, to allow yourself to go off and do that spiritual being, explore that 7 energy that you want, that there's something you came here to complete, to be done with once and for all. And you're here to unravel that and discover that, and you exploring light languages, you know, you have to understand something now. They're showing me too the idea of the grains of sand now. Remember that there are more than 7.5 billion people on planet Earth. And how many of us have truly decided to really take this to the highest level, to explore this in a way that others have been afraid to do, to come here to be the teachers of the teachers, to let go of the shit that we're ready to let go of and say, I'm done. I'm done with this, because I am not going to let this idea of the matriarchal, that we have come here to bring the divine feminine essence back to this planet, but we're here to also bring that balance of the bring the balance of the divine feminine, but bring this divine masculine energy into the divine feminine and say, women, ladies, it's time to be done with this old way.
Yes, I agree.
And so those of us who are identifying with not only the matriarchal, but the patriarchal energies we're bringing this into full focus, into full force. And it's not just about bringing the divine feminine energy here. It's also about bringing the divine masculine into the divine feminine, who, you know, and saying, it's okay to be equal now. It's okay to be what we came to be. F men, this male, not men, but this male idea, and that, and everything, and we are here to unravel everything that has come to do with that idea, and to relate to this energy in other women in a way, and other men, to also allow them their own divine femininity, to allow themselves to explore that in their own harmony. This isn't just about women.
Right.
This is also about allowing the men to explore that side of themselves. And even, you know, me being a child, as a child, you had to squash all, you know, I had to squash all of the crying, and squash all of the emotion, and squash all and be strong and be this and be that, and not, you know, and then having to be the mom and being the almost the mom and the dad energy, you know. It was like, even being the mother, I had to also embody the, you know, the the male energy too. It's as if we've been carrying both sides.
Definitely.
You know, and it's exhausting. And it's like time for us to be free in the way that to be able to explore all this freely, and be done with the ideas that we once held, and so that it's almost like we were like, you know, to just take a breath and say, all right, you know, I have been this and I've been that, and I've been rich and I've been poor, and I've been in it all, and I've explored it all, and now I know what I want. I know what I want, and I want to experience it here now. And I am done with the way whatever I was clinging to before, it's time.
Yeah.
What, and even they're even telling me what I'm not aware of. What am I not aware of that I'm holding on to, that I need to be done with, that hasn't come to the surface? And, you know, they're reminding me right now, my lotus necklace, I bought, and on the back says New Beginnings.
Oh, I love that.
And
That's
so,
my arm.
oh,
Can you see it?
no way. Oh my God. See,
The rays.
wow. You've
Rays.
just, yep. And even, is that an eye?
Yeah.
See? And so I kept seeing that whole energy with you, that whole, and you know, I have to laugh. You're going to laugh at this too, because I kept seeing that interesting, that energy with the eye, and you know, let's face it, sweet pea, you know, you didn't choose those eyes on by accident. So yeah,
these eyes get me in trouble, man.
I know. Well, no doubt about it. I'm sure they have. I know. And so it's almost as if you came to show the world, you know, I know, I see. And isn't that interesting? Seeing through time is the very first thing I heard. And that's what, I mean, I wrote it right here, seeing through time. So funny how I saw that, and then I realized all the pictures of you are about that, well, okay, there's a couple things here. About wanting to, it's funny, a bird just flew right by the window. Wanting to show the world that you can see, God, this is so multi-layered, that you can see through the layers of time, that you can see like a cat, that you like don't miss a trick. Like, I'm watching you.
Yes, I'm
watching you. It's like it's like you had to tattoo it on your arm just to remind everybody. I'm watching you. Don't.
That's so funny.
I got your number.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. Now they're showing me too how we, both of us, but you specifically, have drawn away from watching a bunch of stuff too on YouTube and stuff too, because you're focusing in on exactly your discernment, what you need, what you need to hone in on, what do I need to be done? What do I need to show me to be done with this to move forward?
Yes, exactly.
And so the answers are there for you. They are telling me, stop doubting. So now let's get back into the light languages. Okay. So I want to make sure I covered everything on here that I wanted to cover on here. And I did already start getting a few symbols for you too. So I just want to make sure that there wasn't anything else that I needed to address. And So one of the things that it's like they're showing me the infinite lifetimes. Okay, all right. All right, they're showing me that you have this innate ability, just like I do, to be able to reach in and grab the information from all of those timelines that we just talked about. So you're able to, so what they wanted to do with that whole grains of sand thing and the whole hourglass is do you live near sand?
I'm 5 minutes away.
I mean, so that's what, so this is why, maybe that's why I was seeing all this sand and because every time now that you're at the beach, you're going to be able to really, really tap in now because of this visualization now of the
fractals. Yeah.
When you can start really looking into the magnitude of now when we say infinite, we mean infinite. So when you even look at the grains of sand on the beach, you still can't even come close to imagining what infinite means. And this is where we start to go with this. So what they're showing me is we, your guides, is what they're saying to me now. We, your guides, are here with you, and we are here to explain to you that, to remind you, and we're always here to remind you this. We are here to remind you that you have the ability to hear, explore, experience, retrieve information from every one of these infinite fractals of timelines of every one of these grains of sands and you've got to get yourself into that mindset of remembering that, because it will empower you to understand that there is nothing that keeps you from that information, that power, the languages. And with that said, nothing can, ending the belief system, and let's just shift that into today with being the 11 energy now. We're going to shift this into the 1 energy now, this energy of 11 and the ascended master energy of moving you into the 7 spiritual dimensional beingness that you came to explore. So we're going to now today move you out of this 9 energy and move you more into this 1 energy, and understanding that now you're going to let go of any beliefs that were limiting you, that what is it to bring to the surface that what you need to complete in order to see yourself now in this oneness of the ability to, that there is nothing that you cannot connect to, that there's nothing in every one of those fractals that you are, that, and all of those beings, there's nothing, even me, they're showing me right now, me, the Wendy, and all of my fractals, there's nothing you can't connect to when you want to. All you have to do is release the belief system that you can't. That's it. Once you allow yourself to do that, you will bring in then this power and this energy, because you've already gone through, they're showing me they said to me the words methods of discernment, where one of the reasons why you wanted to explore that idea of the 9 lives and the idea of the cat and being able to see into multiple dimensions, just like I do and can. We all can. It's what you're aware of in that moment. Everyone is capable of this. It's what you want to be aware of and explore in this now, and you are ready to become that and step more into the teacher role, step more into this belief system that you have the power and the infinite information that you desire and need to let go of whatever that is easily. Because that's what you are. That's what you've always done. This is what you've always taught. If you've taught it, you're completely capable of experiencing it. And that's the major point here. Now I need water. Now look at that, all the little grains of sand. How about that?
Yeah, that's right. Love it.
Nisate siya manian taro sa balano kula kopaya shano yolo kopa inkia. Muntu ashu unkwa hana soko oshu unkwa pa I kwa sanate. Ohaku so shuma iwaku sunaki wa sunukwa shewa. Inu kwa haku ono no asate kundi sanukwa. One of your guides is Liren.
Yes, I know. There you go, you're right.
I'm just like,
oh, it's so funny.
Loud and clear.
You just love him?
That was like, hello.
Right?
He's like, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm like, woo, Skid. I'm like, hello.
Yeah. He's great.
I was like, oh, I need some water and some coffee. Whew.
Right, y'all.
Dude, boy, I might have to take a little rest room break myself.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's the thing too, is I drink so much too, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to pause.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. Oh God. I was just thinking about my sister. My sister and my mother both have cats, and I have a dog. And so I was just thinking about cats, and for some reason, when I thought about restroom, of course, my mind went right to a kitty litter box, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't even have a cat. I'm just like,
oh my God, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Like, I'm literally afraid of cats.
You know,
I'm not.
It's funny. I'm not afraid of them, but I don't have cats, and my husband, he really doesn't like cats at all.
Oh my gosh, is that horrible?
He doesn't like them.
I don't either.
And he doesn't like them too because there's no boundaries.
There's so many.
Oh,
I don't trust them.
That's weird. I just hit on something really. Ew! I just hit on a really weird chord.
Right.
Boundaries.
Yes.
Do you have an issue with boundaries? Oh my God. I'm like, something just said to me, do you have an issue with boundaries? I'm like,
I have to, because like all these guys are like, oh my beloved, it's just like, I can't handle any more like soul. Like, I just can't. It's too much.
Are you
I'm like, nope. I don't. It's everybody.
Are you single or are you in a relationship?
Oh, I've been single for 4 years, but I went through a bad twin flame reunion type thing or whatever. But I swear, everybody thinks they're my twin flame. Like, everybody. I can't even go there.
Okay, that's why we're now we're getting into the dirt of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been married a really long time, like a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, I was very young when my husband and I were childhood sweethearts. My son was born in, my first son was born in 1979. So, I've been married a really long time. So yes, that had always, it was kind of funny because that had always been the case with me. And yet, I don't know, it was very weird. Even though I was already in a relationship, that's exactly everybody. It was like everybody. And it's like, no, you're kind of misunderstanding the energy. You're misunderstanding, because see, this is the thing. When you resonate and you have this frequency about you, people are drawn to we, us, like moths like to a flame. And so, but yet now we also choose this vehicle in which we choose to navigate Earth here for a particular exploration. Now, what I have come to understand is, and I think that you can probably really relate to this, is, sorry, I'm making noise here, is that at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, who's in charge?
I am.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is even when I look back and, being little blonde girls and things. And so, I get it. Been there, done that, been through it all. And, I was also a product of, I was in the workforce in the 80s, the 90s, being a blonde, and so, but the reason why we chose this particular, the way we look and all this is because we also wanted to be reminded that even when and then I'm going to choose I'm choosing these words very carefully, but you're going to understand what I'm saying. We are so powerful that even when we chose to experience the idea of being a victim, we were clearly in every moment also aware at every breath we were always in charge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's a very profound place to be, because we chose to experience this simultaneously. Not a lot of people are up for that. This now comes back full circle to the energy I was receiving at the very beginning of this conversation. Was you and I have this very heavy, I say heavy, and I don't mean it heavy in a lower frequency. What I mean it really in a higher frequency way, actually. Ability, let's call it. We have the very powerful ability. Now, we all have this. Let me rephrase. You and I have the powerful ability to want to be acutely aware of experiencing this simultaneously. Usually it's one or the other. Usually people will spend their life as a victim and then they spend their life as the, and so, but there's those of us who chose to do it the really hard way and experience what that feels like at the same time. Now, I think that you would probably agree with me that even in the moments when you felt perhaps that you were being manipulated or victimized, you also knew who was still holding the upper hand all along.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yes.
And who was driving that train. And so actually that should empower you a great deal. So it's interesting that those of us who came here at this time, at this age, to do this work, and now I'm going to remind you that this is 2018, which is an 11 year, and today is an 11 day. So, and you are a 7 birth path, and I'm 11 birth paths. So there's a very special vibration that goes along with that. And so there's also a very special understanding that goes along with that. There's also a certain level of conversations that can be had that can't be had with other people.
Right.
They're just not going to get it. So, and that's okay. So this is another thing that you and I have been exploring. And I'm just saying this because I know it.
Mm-hmm.
That you and I have been exploring also is we need to let go of worrying about who fucking gets it
Right, exactly.
and who doesn't. Let go of the ones who don't get it, or simply let go of the need for them to get it in order for you to go and do what you need to do. And this conversation is for both of us, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that means to you is going to mean something different to me, but this is why we share these experiences, because even if they're different, they're the same.
Right.
So, and even now they're showing me how you and I have even been in different timelines and different roles, playing different paths with each other. I mean, we've literally been different things to each other in different timelines. And so it seems that in my experience thus far, since I began doing private sessions, that is exactly what they're doing with me.
Mm-hmm.
They bring me only the people of very high vibrations who are here to teach others on a very wide scale. Now, the other thing I want to remind you about that is that doesn't mean you have to be on the web or YouTube or anything like that. That doesn't mean that.
Mm-hmm.
What it means is you need to recognize, and this is, I'm going to show you, I'm just going to do something for you really quick. So, now it took me and this literally, I mean this literally, about the count of 11 before I couldn't hear that anymore. So the point is, what you do, even if you feel it's on a small scale, has magnitude of ripples.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget that. Because you never, ever, ever know the person that you've just come in contact with, what it is they came to do and what you just did for them.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher that they have also come to become. So for whatever reason, there was a reason why you needed to know that or hear that. I don't know if it's someone you already know, if it's somebody you're going to meet, I don't know. But understand the magnitude of the power that you have to teach and influence another. And I don't know if it's a child, but there's somebody in your life that is like watching you very closely to see how you handle certain situations, how you handle yourself, because that is going to teach them a lifetime lesson about how they will be viewed and treated for a lifetime. Do you feel like you have other children?
I've had my blood type, I'm Rh negative, so I've had a lot of miscarriages, but I can't have children anymore. I've had a
Okay.
hysterectomy.
Out in the cosmos, I meant.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. That's what well, that's another interesting thing, because funny you said that, because I was referring to hybrid children,
Hybrid children, yeah.
but for some reason, there was a reason why I was supposed to know that about the RH negative, because that also speaks volumes about what you chose to do here on Earth too.
Right.
So that actually says a lot to me now too about you and me and our work together, because I work very, very closely with the hybrid children. And I mean a lot of them, several planets, several ships. And I felt that about you immediately, that
Yeah.
you had hybrid children and that you were a teacher of the children. One of the reasons why you chose to explore the RH negative and that whole situation, which there's tons of information out there online, I'm sure you've read it all,
Yeah.
and watched it all. But even Bashar had said way back a long time ago that there was something, and he alluded to the fact that there was something about the Rh negative blood type that was pertinent. But the point is that not, none of that is really here nor there anymore, because once you understand yourself on a much higher level, it all makes it kind of irrelevant, because it's just another form of exploration. That's it. So, we tend to kind of try to put a lot more meaning into anyway, I don't want to go that route, but
I get what you're saying.
But so I was feeling so one of the reasons why you chose wow, there's so many layers here. Okay. Couple different things I wanted to explore with you, which you may already know. The children that miscarried, you actually, each one of those, you agreed to give them the gift of at least putting their toe in the pond.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so, wow, it's like so weird how I get all this information, but it's like not really words, but they're like, okay, so you gave all these children the gift of being able to do that, but these were such high dimensional children. They don't want to be here.
Yeah,
they just didn't want to be here. So don't feel like you did anything like bad or wrong, because you didn't. It was like, they were like, oh no, mommy.
I can't.
Please,
I know.
no. Please, no. And you're like, okay, I get it. So you're fine. Don't.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and the other reason why you like spending so much time with the hybrid children is because of all of that, because you chose to limit the amount of children here on Earth. Now, the other thing is I did the same thing. Now, I was probably perfectly capable of having a whole ton of children here on Earth. Mm-hmm. But after I had my two boys, something told me that was enough here.
Yeah.
So, and both of my boys are grown. Obviously, if my first one was born, my first one's this, your age. And then my second one is just 2.5 years younger than that. So, so for whatever reason, but yet I also knew that, and I don't know how I knew, but somehow I knew I had, now I only have myself right now that I'm in this now, 4 of my own hybrid children, but I am the Tia, the teacher, the spiritual, and this is where you come in too, the spiritual teacher. And now let's get back into the light languages. One of the reasons why you explore the light languages is for same reasons I do, because you need to be able to communicate with multi-dimensions, period. Right. That's what you came to do. That's what you want to do. You do not have to worry. And this is one of the things we're going to let go today. You no longer ever have to worry about not being protected, because you are in charge. You decide who gets to come through the door, and this was just told to me recently too, and I'm going to repeat it for you, in that you have the ability to invite whatever dirt you want into the room for sake of exploration and explanation, but they are in no way, in any way, shape, or form have the ability to have any power over you whatsoever at any time ever again, ever, never, 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 never. And that includes any being from any system, from anywhere, any planet, any energy. They're not able to get in, period. So it doesn't. So you need to understand that your intentions with your light languages are the only thing that matters. And as long as you're using them with clear and pure intentions of light and love and whatever it is you want to do with them, you have the ability to do. Whether that means physical healing, whether that means cleansing your food and your water, whether that means helping another individual heal, whether that means sending remote healing to any place on the planet or anywhere in the cosmos. That means being able to say in light languages, speaking to yourself and your body and your molecules and your atoms to say, show me what you need every day. Show me where I'm neglecting. Show me what needs my attention. And I'm going to listen and I'm going to hear the answer by way of synchronicities, by way of people, by way of billboards, signs, songs, numbers, oracle cards. My angels are speaking to me. Every time I hear, every time I see an image, every time I get an information, if it's important, I'm going to write it down because now I know everything is a message from everywhere and I'm capable of hearing it. It's only been my belief systems that have prevented me from doing so. And I'm done with that stuff now.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what's come through thus far in, up to this moment. So I guess I would ask, and I'm going to pause for just a second here in just a minute. So I would ask at this moment to what of that resonates and what else comes up with any of that? Any questions, comments, light languages, anything. And I'm also, so there's a couple of things I'm guided to do right now. So first of all, I want to ask you, how are you for time? I'm
perfectly
okay, good, because I'm fine. So I have no time limit. I just wanted to let you know my sessions run as long as they run and as long as the person, until we just say, okay, enough. So I don't put a time limit on it. I just leave it for us and whatever time we have scheduled. I mean, as far as if you've got things to do and I have things to do, but I let the energy take care of itself. So, so I wanted to take a moment to just take a breath. I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to get some water, and I'm also going to start, they've told me to start, I'm going to start, you and I are going to start speaking, you and I are going to have a light language conversation.
Okay.
And because there's some information that needs to come out, I can feel it, I can hear it, and I can hear it.
My ear is like going nuts.
So I can hear, like right now they're telling me it's time to have a conversation, and there's also some information. We'll pick some cards and we'll see what comes through. Okay, so I will be right back. I'm just going to pause the video.
Okay.
It's
okay.
Oh, I hate it when I do that. Such a rookie mistake. I forgot I paused the recording. So now when you're looking at, I just want to go back to the idea of every one of those languages, of every grain of sand has a language attached to it. Okay, right. Let's just start from there so we can kind of get back to that frequency. So now when everything in creation has a resonance frequency like a GPS coordinate, and I think we understand that too, like a radio dial. So each of everything, every single thing in creation has a frequency, so that when you understand that time travel isn't really time travel, or going to one place to another is, like Bashar says, you just become it, and you don't go from there to there, you just are it. You become the number, you become the same numerological sequence, if you will. You become the same frequency as the radio station. So for example, when you're speaking light languages, look at it this way. look at it as a rainbow. And many times Bria said this to me, and I've said this in videos and events. She said to me when she first met me, when I was speaking languages, she could see colors coming out of my mouth, and
Really?
like lights and little. So it's just a frequency,
Mhm.
just like every other light. Light is a frequency. Ultraviolet means beyond the violet spectrum of light, right? So when you can start to think of things in more of a physics and scientific level, and then marrying that with the spiritual, you begin to understand they're no different. They're the same thing. It's just our perception of them is just different. That's all. So when you can see a light language, it's like taking a symphony and taking a little piece of it out, and you just listen to a couple of bars. But within that couple of bars, you may hear 100 instruments. Now, if you pull out that piece of the symphony, maybe it doesn't make sense because you're only hearing a little piece of it because you're not hearing the whole thing. But yet, most of us will agree that you can listen to those first how many bars of Beethoven or whatever it is, we know instinctively what it is. There's a vibration. But yet when you're listening to it, can you literally pick out each and every individual instrument? Maybe, if you had some, so that's the point of light languages too. You are speaking on behalf of God. Well, that includes everything. How could you possibly try to split up? So imagine this. Let's imagine everybody on the planet Earth all talking all at the same time, which we all are right now. If we could hear ourselves outside, we'd be like, oh my God,
Shut up.
if we could hear what our ET friends hear, no wonder they turn off the fucking dial, because they're like, oh my God, you guys are like nothing but drama. And
right.
so let's talk about the days of our lives scenario. Let's imagine that by 7.5 billion people. Shit, and now you and I want to turn off the internet? Well, no wonder.
Right.
So now imagine them waiting for us to freaking get it. Would you want to come here? I wouldn't. We're freaking nuts around here.
I know.
We can't even figure out how to love each other.
I know. It's awful.
And for example, I got this cup here. I'm just going to share this with you. All right. This is the cup. Well, guess what's in here? All the names of all the people from the synchronicity that I haven't drawn yet. And yours is in here, my little friend.
Really?
So if I pull your name, you get another session. But the point is, I've been going through some major shit in my life. And I got stuff going on, and I'm just like, every day I wake up and I keep a feather in it. Mm-hmm. And I keep very close track, though, by the way, of who has entered. And so, I mean, but isn't that funny though? I put it in a NASA cup.
NASA cup. That's the first thing I noticed. It's like, oh God.
I said, I'm going to take somebody to space with me.
Right.
So I was going to say that in the video too. And my husband said this morning, he says, well, I'll draw the name for you, honey. I said, it's not about that. It's that I haven't sat down and done a video and got my shit together and said, okay, guys, I'm going to do the drawing. But do you see what I mean? I'm just a person, just like everyone else, going, you didn't do it again. You didn't do it again. You didn't do it again. And it's like, you know what? So you didn't do it again. It's like, but the point is that we're all just human. We're all going through stuff. And then back to the light languages. So the idea of the light languages too is to be able to help us navigate through our normal everyday stuff. And so when we come across a situation, no matter what it is, we can enlist our guides. We can enlist all that information from all of our fractals. And we can simply say a variety of things. I don't know what it is. Show me. Help me be clear. when you guys show me, help me be clear of vision to hear and see the message. Help me feel it. Help me see how I speak to myself out loud and in the quiets of my mind. Because each of it has a frequency, and those thoughts, whether they're allowed or not, never cease to exist. Very important that we understand the power of what we create, even the words that come out of our mouths.
Exactly.
If we think of it as a song, you know, they just told me right now, if you guys, when you say something that is not in integrity, meaning it's not, even if it means you saying something to somebody that you don't really mean, like, or if it's something you don't want to do, or you agree with something that you don't really agree with out of integrity, every time you do that, it's like they said, it's like sending an email that you didn't mean to send and you can't stop it in time.
Right, exactly.
There is no taking it back. So be careful of what comes out first. And this goes, and so we can use light languages for absolutely any intention we want. Now, don't you know in the heart of your heart what you're using it for and what you're not?
Yeah.
Okay, well then don't ever worry.
Okay. I know, just like someone last night, they messaged me and was like, my tooth hurts, and I was just came out my mouth, and she came back today, she's like, my toothache's gone. I'm like,
See?
yay.
That's all you need to
I've been
do.
doing it in my Reiki. I've had my Reiki clients have just been insane late this week. And
So you're already a healer. You're already, so you're already a Reiki practitioner?
yes, I have my master's.
See,
But
so
I
you're already a Reiki master. So
language.
see, I didn't even know that about you. Had no
Really?
idea. Yet I already knew you were a teacher and a healer. So
Mhm.
see, I didn't know that. I really didn't.
Crazy though, because I've been doing it just this last week alone, using the light language in my sessions, and they come out of it and they're just like so out of their body. They're like, whoa, I need
Well. So now we're really getting to the crux of what's going on here. So you are already using light languages in your healing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting.
No wonder I was feeling what I was feeling for you, see, and I didn't even know that. Well. So what is it then, since you're already a Reiki master and a healer? I think really then what the real question here is if I'm hearing your if I'm hearing you correctly, is wanting to distinguish what you're saying, distinguish what star system it's from, and you also want to be certain that what's coming out is, of good. So I think we've come to establish the latter, that you don't need to worry about that.
Right.
The second part about this is that as you begin to release all this other stuff, with that comes the releasing of the doubt of that you already know who it is. So, and this is the hardest part for me too, every single day, to trust. Because just as you in a healing session, and just as me, I am extremely wise, aware of the power that my words have on other people. And that, so I ask myself and my own guides, well, how do I trust the information I'm getting to share with these people? I'm no different than you. So it's about trust. It's about knowing where your heart is. It's about knowing the information you're getting. The angelic information that I've been getting this week all along about just me in general and myself, I feel them here. I felt it with you from the moment I know that we were having this date today on the number 11. It was another confirmation for me. Your birth path number being 7 is another confirmation for me that you are here to be a spiritual teacher, to be a spiritual leader. Now, I didn't know you were already a Reiki master. So this actually amps it up a whole nother notch for me, because, you know, because for me it does for a couple things. One, now I've got my own confirmation that everything I've received about you is true, that I know it to be true, not a question. And not once have I ever been like, thought, oh, well, was that right? Or today, or not once have I ever doubted not one thing I've received. So same thing. So now, now I want you to know then you also have the ability already. You just don't believe you do that. But you have the ability already to know, to ask, who was that? And where are you from? As soon as you hear it, you're right. You got to know that. You have got to know that. And sometimes, and this is where we're going to get back to the rainbow effect and the crystal effect and talking to God and all that is, when the emissaries of the light come through, when they first came through to me and they said, we are here, we are the emissaries of the light collective. We, in agreement with you, as soon as you're ready, we believe that you're ready. You are a master, you are a leader, you are a teacher, you are a master of they said to me, you are a master of the masters. Mm-hmm. You are a teacher of the teacher, you're a leader of the leaders. We here represent all realms, all civilizations, all star systems, every frequency, every dimension, from God to the elements. They were like, so you have the ability to tap in as we do, and we have collectively also agreed, because our highest joy and excitement is to provide service to all that is. Therefore, you have connected with our frequency as a teacher of other teachers across the galaxies, who have also found it to be exciting to do this kind of work, just because it's exciting. So therefore, you have connected to our frequency, and we have agreed that, and so therefore, when you're speaking languages, so when I first started doing videos, I was not on camera, as I've mentioned in a few of my videos. And for a whole year, I think it was, because no one in my family knew, my husband didn't know. And so they said, it's only about the frequencies of the planet, of the sky, the sun, the trees, the flowers, the colors, the chakras. It's about engaging the viewer with the earth, the elements, the elementals, and the light languages. You don't need to be in the videos. It's about the information that's being alchemized and so forth.
Right. So
we have the effect to affect anything at any time, anywhere, with our light languages, depending on where we decide to zoom in on, and what we decide to zoom in on. The other thing is, we need to understand, as the emissaries of the light collective have said, when you're speaking the galactic languages, sometimes what you're really doing is you're transmitting all of the frequencies of all of the stream of information that we have all collectively given to share. And they said, look at it as if you're just simply opening up a faucet and turning, and we've all decided to throw all our coins in the water, and you're giving it's like you're giving everybody all the information from all of us all at one time. And you cannot begin. It's like an orchestra. It's like a symphony. You can't separate it. It's like listening to an orchestra practice before they start. Oh my God. You're like, stop. Because everybody's doing their own thing, and they're warming up, and you're like, but once everybody stops and the conductor starts and the music begins, it takes the listener to a place they've never been. Haven't you ever been moved to tears by music?
Oh yes.
Or by light language? the most extraordinary experience for me is listening to my very own self on YouTube, watching myself and just bawling as if I'm not even looking at me. It's as if it's not, I'm not hearing, it's not me.
Right.
So, but it's an alchemization of me. It's all the fractals of me. You're still part of it. And all of the Lyrian you, the Pleiadian you, the this you, the that you, all the ancestors, all the times you were here on Earth, the shamanic you. How many times have you been? How many lifetimes have you been a shaman? I can't count how many I've been.
I know, it's crazy.
So
that's like a whole nother thing now when they say, oh, remember who you are. Like, me and my girlfriend have this, like, who am I? You know, like,
but
I don't know. And then we always say, but I don't know nothing. Like, I know nothing, but I don't.
But if you can understand that none of it matters because you're so all of that, that they're all speaking at the same time, that you begin to understand that, say you go out, and this is just one teeny tiny example, say you go outside and you see a piece of garbage. Man, shamanic it, man. I mean, seriously, you just, the thing, you know, whatever you need to do in that moment, whether it's saying, Mother Gaia, I make that piece of plastic inert. Whatever you need to do in that moment. You know, and I've said this before in my videos, how I go to the grocery store and I bless all the food and I bless all the people. And now when I look at people, I look at, when I can look at another person as a complete reflection of me, that I know I'm looking at another version of me, it changes everything.
Right.
I treat everybody, well, I always have, but I treat everybody that way. So, so samodu shamariando saparu para sonore barsani iloko para sotoshmeri kiwaku. So you can sit in, okay, for example, muha tusuno umba ashnaki al hono osho uno kosuse eko uba hashinote ungosho ukwasho ne eso e ango asatishizu kosobu arisho Omba ungwashu unise kosanatishu ono kosato shokwa izungia shujembuga sase kosana obasha. Now, do you see anything, hear anything, get a name, get an image, a planet, anything? A vision? Picture, I mean.
I just felt a male presence.
Okay. And?
Blue.
Okay.
Just pretty much telling me that I have the power and strength to do what I want to do. Kind of like what I felt from that.
And it's really good. And I'm going, and you, for some reason I was supposed to say, and it's really, really good to be alone.
To be alone? I know.
They said to me just now, and I don't know where this comes from, but they said to me, it's really good to be alone. And use this time to empower yourself. You have right now the ability to connect to yourself and your guides in a way you never have before, because you are not distracted. They're telling me now, do not become distracted. Do not become distracted. You know, it's nice to be a cat and see 9 timelines all at one time. It's also, for a human who is becoming more aware of their multidimensionality, it can be very disconcerting. And so it's nice to be able to have that ability, but we're also, we need to make sure that we're grounding and that we're taking that time to not be distracted. And they're telling me, like, don't be distracted by drama. Don't be distracted by the male energy. Don't be distracted by, and not to say that, not to, you know, whatever, you know, but that, you know, to just remember where your power lies. And I'm trying to think what I would tell myself, what I would tell the me at your age. Because I remember where I was when I was your age. And so it's kind of interesting when I put myself back there right now, how powerless I felt at times. And I, you know, because I was in a male oriented business and just, you know, stuff like that. So I was just, it was a lot of, it was like every single day I was fighting to be taken seriously. I was you know, it was just, it was constant. It was because of the way I looked. It was because of the way I was. It was because even though I was a nice person and I treated everybody equally, then they completely misunderstood what it all meant, and they completely misconstrued it. And it was like, it was constantly fighting just to frickin' be and do my job and be, you know, just like, and it was like, finally and this is why, okay, this is why they're telling me this, because I ended up manifesting a lot of shit because I needed to be alone and I needed to be not distracted. And so my guides created a huge distraction for me because I wasn't listening. So I guess that's what they're trying to tell me now is, don't wait for them to create the distraction for you. Make the conscious decision today to not be distracted and to make the most important relationship be with you. That is the most important message they said that you could get from any of this today, is make you the most important relationship, because now is the time. Because you do not, and they're saying, trust me, trust us, you do not want to attract a relationship now, not now. It's because you are going to attract the kind of relationship that is not of your highest frequency. You have got to go find out who you are first, and then let the mate attract to that frequency. If you attract somebody now in a very short order, you are going to realize very quickly you attracted somebody in an old frequency, and now you can't get rid of them.
That's what just is happening, I think. Like I just reconnected with someone from my past lives, but he actually, I don't know, he makes me happy though. Like he's not, it's not like a personal, it's just a nice friendship, you know, other than the ones that are constantly like,
well, yeah, the
bowing down at me, which just trigger. I'm like,
I
don't want that.
Well, that's just exactly. It just kind of, that's a neediness that we recognize immediately, which actually at one time made us feel kind of good, and
right. And now
then after a while you go, ew, I see this for the sliminess that it is. It's like, definitely not the kind of person I want. So, and that's fine. And I have no idea what any of this means. You have to apply it to you.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you where and with whom it applies. You know, maybe they're just saying, I don't know, don't be distracted. Maybe don't take it to a distraction. I don't know. I don't know. And maybe that's what it is too, is just let it be what it is. And if it turns out perhaps that maybe the other person wants to, maybe it turns into, oh, they want more and you're not ready and you don't want to ruin the friendship, blah, blah, blah. maybe that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just about real. They just keep saying to me, as long as you remember that the most important relationship is with you, that's all you need. They're like that. The rest takes care of itself.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing since I've gotten divorced. Like, I love my solitude. I love living here with my two boys by
I
myself.
and I think it's also interesting, and I didn't know that you have two boys too, and
Yeah, 10 years apart.
I have two boys. So 10 years apart. Wow.
I like started all over again.
Wow. But that's nice too, though, because you get the opportunity, as a lot of moms don't, to actually give them a different, you know what I mean? You get to have a different with each of them that you wouldn't if they're close. So
Right.
it's okay. And
So,
we all choose our parents and they
yeah.
choose you, so, and you chose them. So, and it's fine. That's the way it was supposed to be for every reason in the world. So, yeah. And as most things go, this is one of the reasons why I do like to record these, because we forget what we talk about, and you hear new things
Hmm.
each time you listen to something again and again. So excuse me, sorry, I guess it's my little throat chakra too here. Go.
Mine's been going all day today. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 4, and I'm just like
Wow.
acting. I don't sleep anymore, barely.
I don't get too I don't sleep as long as I used to.
Um,
Excuse me, muscle to shit. So far I've just been doing a little doodling here. So mia soto shopikera ki soto sumi ki ora ko sapara I mawa katekia. Soru somo ko lampo soto shopala halo ko nora ki the kotori samani ki soto pashono ko india. Soru sompo ko toshema nandaite. Netukoinga basando topo soto passionati ki lankia soto samai ka soto sami ila kone mala kore pashono resepara kiwa. Lote sono to kola purisa na tequila kota pasando to shewa liano no atso pota por su poloku shura soma tu ayewana diga la kota de shot tequila kota de semaniano a kota she po halu ni mare kero sapida kota cha I watoka ni samiki shuro super sana tequila soto pasana shashavina o kate menania soto palienta rasha. I have all these I have glasses everywhere. All different colors. Sepuru shabarianda I kura ko saparasana bari ko shabarakina bari atota kisana bari andaki. Natupo satopusana bi soto shamani aja. Oh,
medicine woman. Nice.
mito shaminkia to saminkia. Big surprise, huh? Tepashina biguesa
Oh no.
sata. This explains exactly my vision this morning when I saw also the drum circles, the healing circles, and I didn't know you were a Reiki master at the time, so this explains a lot. And explains a lot about me and you too, and our connection, because I'm definitely this in many, many lifetimes. I could feel that shamanic energy about you right away too. So I could feel that we were definitely have that, share that share those shamanic lifetimes, so I could definitely feel that. And hop in and speak languages anytime you want. I feel like we should be having like we want to be having a conversation. Misa tashima kiwa. Nituro saporia tu saporo gabi enara ki sotoposora sopo sombo ukiana te dokia barusuna polakoya ni sotosomari shaporo sopo somaki latisa natila sopo sonati monokoya. So yimbarkuya satashe.
Sialunia saturnia te casia sisisioto sienendatio to comia setete te una mosia te conia ta.
Imashoto ya makola ki sato sumiki urankuya para soda bela haro avona ni awatuikewa. Sirsune awasatachi akuya. You just said to me, what I heard was, I see myself, I see us. We have studied together before. That's what you said. That's what you said. We have studied together before.
Oh, I definitely know that.
Misato shomike ara satopia. So and I'm just going to run through these really fast because they were the all in a row. Actually, they said to just keep going. So looking deeper.
Okay.
Deep within is a majestic radiance. So there, deep within you is this majestic radiance that you absolutely have, and you have. And so now they're telling me right now to take that and actually take that radiance and really turn it back into yourself. And this is interesting, one right after the other, following your bliss. And my soul sings with joy. So interesting. Taking that time alone, connecting with yourself on the beach, that whole sand thing too. Yeah, that really very interesting. And what I'm seeing now too is this music. So I'm seeing light languages. I'm seeing the singing of the light languages and bringing the inner child out. And they also told me that you actually they just said that you actually help a lot of people bring out their own inner child. They said to you will definitely be stepping into the future with an open heart. So you are embracing your future, but this future, they keep showing me too that to see your future with you being the one in the spotlight, they just said, but you being the focus of your future, not that to see your future as you being your divine radiant self, that it doesn't, that it really has nothing to do with anyone else at all, like at all, that the answers that you need are not even, that have nothing to do with anybody else. And that you will reveal your own radiance, that you will see that my light illuminates the world, that you will see how your light illuminates the world if you just start seeing yourself as being the radiant one. Look at the pearl in there. Look at how long does it take a pearl, to come into being? So, you're, well, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, what? I don't know how to do this, honey.
Oh, like
There
that.
you go. So cute. Oh, I love that one. I love them both. But he's like my Gemini, and then my other one, he's Gemini Cancer, and then my oldest is Leo, and they're totally different.
Oh yeah, and I'm a Sagittarius and a Leo, and so yeah, I've got a lot of fire energy in me. So
yeah,
a lot of fire energy in me. And it's funny. Oh, go ahead.
No, he's good.
Is it good? Okay. Cherish yourself.
Yes.
I accept and love myself. So, take that time while you're alone to just immerse yourself. They just showed me to, while you have this time to yourself, to treat yourself like every day you were like at a spa, like just because no one is going to do it for you.
No,
they're not. And let me tell you, they're not. So don't. Okay. until you treat yourself that way, no one can. No one can. And we will continue to repeat the same cycle of attracting the same kind of needy ickies until we start treating ourselves like that, cherishing ourselves. Treat yourself as the high priestess. There are little eyes watching. Every time you interact with somebody, you are showing the world, you and your little world, how it's done.
Yeah.
And so there's something really important about that idea for you. And so I took it. I'm like, which one? It's like I pick it up, put it down. I'm like, what? Okay. All right, fine. Yeah, Satashimiya Korea Basa. Watchashiniya Sopolianko Samaniatosa. Focus. So perhaps crystals will help you focus. Perhaps the idea of, okay, they're showing me to take your meditations into a crystal cave like this. This is an amethyst crystal cave, and it's a very healing place. So they said to take a little bit of time to take yourself either holding crystals and I've got all kinds of crystals around me.
Good. I got the biggest chunk. You gotta see this.
Oh yeah, let me see it. Oh my God, no wonder I pulled that card. Holy crap. That looks just like it.
No.
Oh my God. Wow, that's amazing. It looks
I always take this one to the park.
Oh, well, no wonder I was seeing crystals all over
Oh,
here.
honey, I got more crystals than friends. They're everywhere.
Well, no wonder. See, this is why. Oh, no wonder they made me pull that card. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, well, see, then you've got some really divine guidance through your crystals there. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of, you are so in tune with the crystal.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, my God. To the whole crystal, I heard all the crystal races, I heard.
They're like, pick me.
Pick me.
Can I come with you today, Mom?
Well, it shows that you're at an impasse. So that explains the number 9 and being done with things. And that's time to reflect and redirect your energy.
That's perfect for Mercury retrograde, too.
That's right. Mercury retrograde.
Fear Mercury retrograde. I give that a time to reorganize.
Yes. And
so
the new moon. So we have a new moon in 2 days. So this also goes with our new beginning energy. And of course, the approaching equinox.
Yeah.
If you're free, I'm doing if you're in Google, if you want to do a Google Hangouts, I'm also doing an event on the equinox with my friend Will. And which we're just going to hang out and do some languages and talk about and just share and channel and whatever comes through. I like the back of these too. So basically they're telling me, again, the same way it happened to me, is you will start to discern and hear the names of, if you desire to know, sometimes it's a star system. Sometimes you will hear that it's the angelics. Sometimes you will hear that it's a specific, you may even get a name.
Well, that's the thing. I get all my higher selves names for some reason. Like they just
I get them all the time. Yeah. I know a bunch of myself's names.
Right, me
too. Oh yeah. So That's them. They're just introducing themselves. And many times when we're speaking languages, they just want to talk. They just want to talk. And a lot of times they'll say to me, like even right now, they say like, well, we just want to communicate. We just want to talk about everyday stuff with you guys. Like you managed to, like, we just want to say how much fun it is that we sit and listen to you guys talking, like in these sessions, and how we learn so much more about you, and we learn about you as a human because they just said to me, well, don't you want to learn about us? Well, we're just as interested in learning about you. So when we speak through you and you're speaking back, you're actually teaching us what it is. You're teaching us about your culture, your children. You're teaching us about the things that you do. What you like to eat. How you like, snuggle with your kids. Walking on the beach. There you go. So plug it in. So right now, it's interesting because this has a pattern of, there's not only stars, but this idea of the heart chakra, and I've been feeling that blue chakra, the throat chakra, like you really, really, really want to open your throat chakra. Like this is what you're ready. Like it's time, it's time, it's time. So it's interesting that this card that I was guided to is also the number 5, which represents change.
Yeah.
Just change. So what they're showing me is it's time to release the emotional loss that you're feeling.
Yes.
It's time to release this emotional loss. Whatever that you feel, you're reminded that you're traveling through millions of parallel realities moment by moment, and that relationship was just another reality, and that you don't need to cling to any of what we have been taught to believe is a loss as a result. Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, I just want to make sure he's okay because I know it's been a long time.
I think what they're trying to tell me is, to be honest, every personal or physical relationship I've had, I've never really been loved.
And, exactly. Oh, I know.
I've always been abused, either physically, emotionally, verbally. Like and that's why I'm okay with being alone. Like I don't need to be.
That makes sense. This emotional loss, that makes a lot of sense to me, because they're showing me that you are literally repairing that emotional loss at the beach, at the, with the seashells, with the stars. They're showing me you are literally healing your heart chakra. Oh my, I have shells all over. Oh my. I have shells all over my house, everywhere. I have the biggest collection I have huge conch shells, just a bunch of these kind too. Ever since I moved a year ago, I still haven't unpacked because we just don't have the space. But so really hearing this loud and clear, that you are ready to let go of this idea of emotional loss, that you are in charge. You've been in charge. You will remain in charge. But you need to take this time to be alone and just stop being distracted by any of that crap anymore. Because as you said, that is not where you're going to find it. It is not where you're going to find the love. And I know exactly what you're going through, because I feel the same way, that I've never actually been loved. Not that But you know why? It's because we haven't. It's because
Yeah,
we haven't loved
exactly.
ourselves. How
Yep,
could they? It's not
I
their
know.
fault. It's because we haven't reflected back the mirror to us by way of relationships, the same love that because we haven't given it to ourselves. I'm well, twice your age, and I'm just now figuring that out. So
Right.
don't you don't need to wait that long now. See, this is the beauty of why we're all connecting now, because you're
Right.
done. You don't need to wait another 30 years to figure this out. Oh, fuck no. You are done with this. So take this time to be alone and let it just nourish every minute of your life, your alone time. Don't be distracted by outside anything. You have got to nurture and develop a relationship with yourself, because you don't even know who the hell you are.
Hmm.
Nor did I. I'm just now discovering who I actually am. And, even after, a 40-year, nearly 40-year marriage, um, we cannot attach what we believe is the past to the present now.
Hmm.
We can't. It's because it's not true. It's not logical anymore. And every
Right.
time we continue to try to do it, we feel the resistance, because we know it's not true. Yet we keep trying to apply an old belief, an old belief, and an old belief in a new system, in a new frequency, in a new age, and in a new dimension. They don't fit. They
Right.
just don't fit. And so you cannot forge a relationship with anybody in the frequency that you need, nor can I, until we figure out who the hell we are, until we figure out what that frequency is. But the thing is that even figuring out the frequency, but you've got to own it. You've got to live it.
Right.
You can't just know it.
Yeah.
I know it, but I'm still not living it. Not completely, not not in complete integrity, not in body, mind, and spirit. I still have plenty of times during the day where I am not acting in the way that I want to be, because I would probably not be right there. But
Yeah, right. That's so
to be
funny.
honest with you, and to be perfectly honest with you, I would be on a plane to California to come and visit you, because I felt like it. But you know what? There's nothing financially from preventing me to do so. It's only everything else.
Right.
Every other reason that has nothing to do with me. And that's what sucks about that.
Hmm.
Because it's got nothing to do with, there's no reason, none whatsoever anymore, because now I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. So once you're not afraid anymore, then you have to ask yourself, well, then what is stopping me? Well, because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't want somebody to feel, I do not want to be the creator of somebody else's angst.
Yes, I always say that. Ugh.
I do not want to be the creator of somebody else, making somebody else uncomfortable. Whether it's my family, my children, my partner, my coworkers, the people I work with, the people I work for, the people I am serving.
Hmm.
You can't imagine the guilt I feel every day that goes by that I don't do a video, that I'm taking care of me first. Now, how whacked up is that?
Right. You're
How
like,
whacked is that? So, okay, let's just turn the tables for a second, and you look at me and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm just a guy having a normal life, just like everybody else, having shit, having relationships, having kids, and so, not being able to understand what's happening to me, I have these languages. I'm just like everyone else, trying to figure it out. What does this mean? What am I supposed to do with this? How is this helping people? And yet, when I'm not sharing that information, and then my guides are telling me, dude, you need to sit and be the student for a while, and you need to shut the fuck up, and you need to not do it, and you need to go take a walk, and you need to go be in nature, or you need to go meditate, or you need to go start remind yourself to go do your yoga again, or you need to sit and speak languages with yourself. I do readings for myself now.
Nice.
Because yesterday, I haven't touched my cards in a little while. Yesterday, they're like, dude, you need to do a reading for yourself because we got something to say and you're not fucking listening.
Right.
So I did a reading for myself and I'm like, shit. Yeah, okay. I'm not the only, none of us are immune. None of us are done. None of us are done. None of us ever have it figured out. Don't think for a minute that I've got anything figured out.
Right.
But all I can do is tell you what I have figured out.
Right.
Right? Just like all you do for your children. Isn't that all you can do for your children, no matter whether they're 10 years apart? Don't you see how you have to respond to each one of them differently because they're at different ages and different stages of life that you have to respond to them differently? Well, that's just your teaching. This is your schooling as a master of the masters to teach you how to respond to different frequencies of people. That's all.
Yeah.
You've got kids that are 10 years apart. I was 10 when my little brother was born, and I had to take care of him, and I was his mother, and I was his this and that and the other. But the thing is that he and I we see life from a very different perspective just because of the 10 years. So do your children. And so each of you is seeing you respond to life from a different perspective. And each of you is gleaning and learning information based upon how you respond from that different perspective. And, and I will remind you, just like I was reminded that, and there's a lot deeper meaning to this, which I didn't realize until recently, that somebody else pointed out to me, that mothers of sons are extremely blessed.
Yeah.
Well, we're very blessed because they're men. And so, and your little guy's just got so much spiritual angelic energy around him. It kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I know, everybody.
It's kind of like every time he comes into the viewfinder, I'm just like, whoa,
I know.
So it's like, and what's weird is it just now reminded me that he looks just like my little brother when my brother was
really.
Yes.
Oh.
When my little brother, yes. And so it's kind of with blonde curls, just so cute. And so, and that doesn't mean that he's not going to have it, that it's not, the thing is that, and this is something you're going to look back on this day and you're going to remember these words, because don't ever for a minute though think that his journey is going to be easy because of it. It's actually going to be the opposite. And you're going to need to know that as his mom, that there's going to be a day when he's going to need you to remember what you went through now, because he's going to need you, because he's going to be a very spiritual person.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to be a very spiritual leader, and he's going to need your guidance, because he's going to have times when he's going to struggle with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get that from him.
I mean, it's like, I'm feeling it really, like it's caught in my throat. Like I want to cry thick. Oh. So it's like, I know he's going to need you to tell him, I know. Mm-hmm. I see, I know, I understand, I've been there. We're all here. And it's interesting. And now they're showing me one of the ripples that, like, and the thing is you need to see this from a higher perspective. And I think you already do, that one of the ripples is that he's the one who's here, who stayed. Yeah. He's the one who stayed. He agreed to stay. Yeah. The others didn't, because they were like, oh, hell no.
Right. I know.
They're like, oh, hell no.
She told me, she was like, I knew she was leaving. And I was just like, I understand,
Yeah. But yeah, so his he's got a very important journey ahead of him, and you need to understand that you on a higher level agreed to come here just to be his mom. I mean, kind of like that. So that's kind of like, yikes. Wow. You know?
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing too. So you need to keep that in mind too, that, you know, you gotta, you know, and maybe this is one of the reasons why I saw such a high master teacher energy around you, is because he's also one, and you're going to have to really, you know, because you are, you know, he is who he is because you are who you are. See, that's the other thing too, is you couldn't be each other's mother because he needed somebody who was going to be a higher vibration. You understand?
Right. Mm-hmm.
He couldn't have been another kid, somebody's kid.
Right.
So really, isn't this interesting? The multi-layers and levels that this goes, and you know, yeah, so to me, ona ba ke so so pika na te pala hoe mane so so pa no na pa la kuya so posa na posa so posa ki wana ku ma iwa. I already feel, you know, now that we know what we know, and you already know this anyway, but I actually literally feel the difference in the frequency of the timeline that we're in now versus the one we were in when we came in to the session.
Right.
Do you feel the difference?
Definitely.
But I feel the difference in you. Do you feel the difference in you?
I do.
I mean, I was like, all of a sudden, it was like all of a sudden the energy went like completely shifted within you. Something all of a sudden just moved with you, right? Just like within the last couple of minutes. It was just like something, but it was really weird. It was like powerful, but very calm.
Yeah, it's very still.
It was very strong, but very calm, very sure, very clear, clearer, much clearer. Lot of you know, it was weird too. I was seeing so much water energy around you this morning, so much water energy.
Yeah.
And you know what they told me? They said, you chose the color of your eyes, and I almost forgot to tell you. They said she chose the color of her eyes as she came into this time because she wanted to reflect the color of the sky and the color of the water in everywhere she went.
Wow.
Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
And it also happens to be the color of the connection between the heart chakra and the throat chakra.
Yep.
So, because they change color too, don't they?
Yeah, they're either super green or
super blue. Yeah. But
it's weird.
They showed me, they told me today, they said it depends on your frequency, and it also depends on oh, you'll like this. It all depends on who you're most connecting to your other fractals. Mm-hmm. So one time you're connecting to more Lyran, one time you're connecting to more Pleiadian, one time you're connecting. So you're literally able to visualize, just like a cat, you seeing yourselves moving through the timelines and shifting through the realities. And you can tell the difference even just if you look at the color of your eyes.
Oh, yeah. I'll walk by the mirror. I'll be like, oh, you.
So here we are. And this is actually kind of perfect. This was the last, wait, is it the last one? All right. Wait a second. Twice I went for this one. Funny too, it's got a water bird on the back.
Nice.
We have so many water birds here. It's incredible. I'm in Tennessee, and I live on the lake, and so it's like there's so many water birds here. It's kind of funny because we get like swans and pelicans and seagulls and egrets and just so many, and eagles and falcons and vultures and turkey vultures and just all kinds of shit. But so it was kind of funny, but um, there's so much information for you in the water. I get so much information from the water, whether it's
Yes.
in the shower, the bathtub, whether I'm sitting at the lake. So really, you obviously picked where you are on purpose on it, on the planet. So they're really showing me that there's a lot of, and I heard a lot of Lemurian, energy. I
Yes.
got from you also. And I was also getting a lot of earlier, I was Syrian energy, aquatic being energy, mermaid energy,
Yeah, like the Nomos.
just all of that, mermaids and dolphin. And that's interesting. Nomo?
Yeah, Nomos.
Yeah, I was, you know, that came into my awareness not too long ago. And I'm not even sure why. And I don't even know if I knew anything about it prior to that, I'm not sure I did. Well, here you go. The ladybug. Funny, I have ladybugs all over the place.
Oh, that's so cool.
I always forget about that too. Funny, ladybug. Always reminds me of my cup.
Yeah, it does.
So the ladybug, this is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive all good things in your life.
Nice.
So that was very interesting. So I actually thought it was going to be something aquatic, but it turned out to be something
I know. I was
completely different. I was like really expecting an aquatic something
Yeah.
to jump out here, but so this is nice. Good fortune, baby. Very
Mm-hmm.
nice. So anyway, that was the but it was interesting that the one that I pulled that they wanted me to do last, which is interesting, is I really, really, really like this. Funny too. This is really funny because it looks like she's sitting next to the water and there's birds flying over her. And she says, I find peace in nature and rest my body and mind in order to connect with spirit. Do you need to turn to him? Go ahead.
Fine for a minute.
At day's end, rest.
Rest. I love nature. I have to go in it every single day. Like
Me
I literally
too. Funny too, because it's interesting that she's surrounded by cats.
Oh, I know. What's up with the
I
cat?
know. And that's really funny because it's so, and we also have the fairy energy here, which I found interesting that you and I talked earlier about the fairy energy.
Exactly, the
There's the
fairy.
birds, there's the water, there's the trees, the sun.
Yeah.
Now, where I lived before in the north, I used to sit under a tree just like this, and I did a bunch of videos under that tree, as a matter of fact. But anyway, I'm not really a cat person either, but for some reason, recently I've been guided to more cats, and there's a Lyran. I know I have a Lyran guide now as well. And there's a Lyran that I'm very close to in Human Colony by the name of Takur, and she's been a huge guide for me. And so she and I have been spending time together, and she actually was the one who explained to me a little bit more about my angelic guides and my connections and my job here as an angel. And so it's very interesting too that we've got the fairy here and the little angel wings and stuff and sitting by the water. So they're really telling me to tell you now, this really is your time.
Yeah, I feel that.
Just rest and figure out who you are. And look at the back of these cards. I love.
Oh, that's amazing.
I just love the backs of these cards.
Oh, look at the moon cycle.
Exactly. So look at this. You can see all the moon phases. They're very, very detailed. If you look you can actually see very deep into these cards. And so I just wanted to really reiterate all of this because I feel like there's this deep need for you, me, and you to just connect with ourselves. And I've been doing a lot of soul searching about this myself, and I've really been feeling this really great need for solitude. And for me, it's a little bit a little bit in the opposite, in that I've never been alone.
Yeah.
I mean, never. I went right from childhood sweetheart, and I graduated high school, and I was supposed to go to college, and I got married, and and so it was like I've never ever once in my life been alone. So now they're telling me to. It's time to rest. And the same thing with me with the videos. Ever since the beginning of this year, they told me, you know what? It's been 3 years. You've got almost 900 videos. You need to sit and rest.
Right.
You need to stop people pleasing.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Stop people pleasing. They're like, stop worrying about what everyone feels, what they say, what they think. The trouble is when you're an empath, you can't help it.
I know.
You feel what they feel. But the thing is that in order to be a master teacher, don't you also understand as a parent, don't you, we get it, right? The kid, they're going to do shit and they're going to skin their knees and there's nothing you can do. So it's the same thing with our guides. They have to let us fall. They have to let us cry. They have a certain amount of empathy. They feel it, but they've got to be detached in order to be a good teacher, right? So you're the same way with a parent. So you get it. And so now you also have to take that detachment and apply it to the clingers, the people who are sucking your energy, the people who are taking and not giving, the people who are not nurturing your soul, and all they're doing is stripping from you instead of supporting you. Mm-hmm. And so we're both going in that direction. And so, again, my guides are your guides, but they're mine at this, they're, and vice versa. So we learn from each other by teaching each other. And basically these symbols, as you probably already know, they're, no matter, they'll always continue to help connect all of this.
Could you give me
so
just a little bit more time?
You can go with him now. I know he needs you. And he's been I'll tell you, he's been great because his attention span has been really good for as young as he is.
Oh, yeah.
And, and I get it. I mean, believe me, I know it's, so this is just the beginning. I'll send you, what more that I have, but I want to give you the opportunity before we go to just say anything you need to say. I felt today like it was more about this than it was necessarily about channeling, channeling, trans-channeling. There's way more, there's way more opportunities for that, but I felt like we needed to relate and connect. I want, though, do you have any questions that you need to ask that need to be answered, or light languages that I still feel like there's something in there.
Yeah, it's gonna come. I'm just like, I'm ready. Like, I'm just ready.
That's all you need. And just so you know, that's all you need is the intention. The fact that you're already using it in your healings is outstanding. I mean, that's like, wow, you are already way further along than you think you are.
Right. I know. I think I just need to just stop doubting it. That's it. Like,
and this is the 99. This is why you came. Here you are. This is it. So piso no diaro ko yamaru soro ye sabari osapo awo niato aro kote shamewaraki lo saposo mo kulektira. This is the dissolution of both of our self-doubt in whatever respective areas. Yeah, so poso no dole apo ko yana kaleki. Hinowa sato shopa. Misato shamiya. We're going to find that power in our rest. And we're going to find that power in our alone time. And the more time we spend alone, the more power we will have to be with others.
Right.
Do you speak languages with your son? Either of them?
Yes.
Does he speak back?
No, but he smiles and tells me he knows what I'm
Si
saying.
koina siya pa yan o yaba ko isa pa yung koya para isa to kaya ba una ba ya ko ya sa pa ya ko amba ko ya. He's very connected to the hybrid children. I mean, he's like a liaison. They're showing me he's a liaison, and you're a liaison back. And he will be speaking with you very, very, very soon.
Okay.
I think it's funny that when I was a kid, now I got to go back to the other one. We used to call it Chico.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we called it Chico. But basically what they're saying to me is this is the language of the soul, is the language of source, that he speaks the languages of source, and you will be speaking that with him. He's such a high vibrational little being. But remember, he can't, you guys couldn't be without each other. He needs you to be that high vibe mom. So, but again, there's so much that he'll be able to, that he already is teaching you, and there's so much that he'll be able to teach you too. And so you will be speaking with him, and he's actually going to use being the liaison between the hybrid children and the earth children. You guys are actually creating the bridge for when, because just as you're young yet too. So you're young, he's young. You guys are it's like I'm the teacher, you're the teacher, you're the student, I'm the teacher, you're the student, he's the student. And now you guys are going to be teaching, you're going to be the bridges for the hybrid children. So when they come, everybody's ready.
Nice.
So you're here to start teaching and activating other people's light languages. So when you're doing this stuff, and whether you realize it or not in your Reiki sessions, you're also activating other people and their own galactic abilities, whether it's light languages or not.
Okay.
So lots of ripples going on there. So, but yeah, so anytime you want to join a hangout, or, I'll send you links. If you ever, if you want to join one of the Google ones, like I said, we're doing a hangout tonight too. But it's not till 8:00 Eastern time. So that's 7 me, 5 you. So, but anyway,
it's kind of hard to get all the time straight.
But yeah, as long as as long as you know Eastern time, you can always figure out what time you are versus Eastern time. But so yeah, and then like I said, I'm doing one on the equinox. But anytime you want to send me, light language little clip, that kind of thing, that's fine. It'll always help you to activate it, and of course, speaking every time you bless the ocean, you're touching every continent.
Okay.
Every time you send your languages out and you see the waves, touching the dolphin, you're touching the whales. They can hear you. The water's touching every continent on the whole planet. Your energy is actually going everywhere, and all the way down into all of the beings below the earth, all the way through. So understand, when you speak languages, it's like a sonar that goes everywhere, and it just doesn't stop. So there's so much power in it, and you will be coming into that power more and more of using them. But they're showing me, start using them for yourself.
Okay.
So just talk to yourself. I find I'm able to ask my guides more clearly in light languages than I am in my own in English, because I'm not filtering it through words. And so they're saying, ask what you need through light languages, and more of it will be conveyed and returned back to you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much for all of this time. Ya sopa ya kia. I suppose to pashina ki aquaria to pasari kulabosa ishana. CPK, keep track of your dreams, write down notes, words, names, images. All of them, as you already know, are
They've been intense.
information. And it's going to accelerate now. So I'll send you the video as soon as it's finished uploading. I'll send you the link. And every time you see it, hear it, watch it, you'll gain more information. And I want to thank you for one, not waiting for the drawing. And hey, you never
right?
know. Maybe
No.
I'll draw your name.
Love it.
So so thank you so much. I really appreciate all this time. And anytime you have any questions about anything, just let me know, or any comments, or anything that comes through that you're not sure about, just feel free to let me know.
Okay, thank you so much.
Did you have fun?
I did. I feel so good. I'm going to go to the beach now.
Yay! You go to the beach and have one for me, because boy, I'll tell you, I live on the lake, but I sure wish sometimes it was the beach with sand, but that's okay, because I'm on fresh water, and we both have a job to do. You've got saltwater job to do, and I've got freshwater job to do. So we've got interplanetary stuff to work on. So start using your light languages to heal Gaia, to send messages, and you're going to be astounded at the more information that you're going to receive through the crystal and sand crystals.
Nice.
They have a lot of talking to you.
Yeah, I guess.
So are the days of our lives.
I know, my goodness. I love it.
Much love, my dear sister. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Mahala. Namaste.
Bye.
And just hit the little end meeting down there to hang it up.
It'll see.
But it'll just go away. Don't worry about it. Okay, bye.
Have a beautiful day. Bye.